Teach My Kid to Read, Marion Waldman, Executive Director.
Thank you, Assembly members, Senate members, and chairs who are still here. I'm here with a couple of different hats as well. We also work in coalition with Decoding Dyslexia New York and the Dyslexia Initiative New York. Like many of the stories that you've heard all day long, our story is one of many New York families I talk with regularly. We struggled for years to find out why our daughter couldn't learn to read, and then we struggled for years to find that place and person that knew how to teach her to read the way she needed to learn. We learned quickly we weren't alone, and in New York today, I have a petition here signed by 1,800 families who are looking for hope for their children, looking for early identification, and looking for teachers who know how to teach them so they can become skilled readers. As you see in my testimonial, the statistics are dramatic. For kids with learning disabilities, of which dyslexia is the most common, only 14% in New York were reading proficiently. Yet, with the right instruction intervention, 95% of all children have the cognitive ability to become skilled readers. My journey is a little bit different in that I took a turn and started a 501c3 so that I could come up with strategic, widespread community literacy initiatives working primarily through the public libraries to provide parents, librarians, and anyone interested in literacy education with professional development and tools to help all children, including those with dyslexia, learn the foundational skills essential for all children to learn to read. We offer families and caregivers options when the school can't help and the expense of tutors is out of the question. And quite frankly, we offer a bit of joy and hope in a very sobering area. There are 6 bills introduced this session that strive to tackle ways to help more children at risk of reading issues get identified early and to require teachers to receive training in ways that benefit all children, especially with dyslexia, learn to read. For more children to get the help they need before they struggle, please support legislation put forth by Simon, Brooks, and Carroll. Children must be identified early. We've heard that over and over today, when the instruction and interventions have the most impact, and maybe they won't go into special education, and before they miss critical instruction and begin to lose pace with their peers. School districts are currently required to universally screen all children for at risk for not meeting grade level expectations in reading. These same screeners can be analyzed to look for and identify the risk factors commonly found in dyslexic children. The same programs that work best for dyslexic children also prove successful for all struggling and beginning readers. Unfortunately, as we heard, some teacher education programs provide few opportunities for future teachers to learn the science of reading or receive training in evidence-based strategies that adequately prepare them to teach reading, especially to struggling readers. To improve opportunities for teacher training and provide more options for specialized interventions, we request support for legislation put forth by Brooks, Carroll, and Jackson, and Carroll to provide children with reading issues like dyslexia who are not demonstrating progress in a traditional school setting with opportunity to access specialized schools that cater to children with reading issues. I'm going to jump ahead. You have my testimonial about some of the statistics in New York City. But what I want to say, probably the most important, that ties into all of the mental health discussions we've been hearing, is I am here to speak on behalf of all families, educators, and especially all the children and adults whose lives have been irrevocably affected in the quest to learn to read. Children with dyslexia often feel deep frustration and embarrassment, which can lead to anxiety and withdrawal from social activities. 1 out of 4 Americans suffer from mental health issues each year. However, adults and young people with learning disabilities, such as dyslexia, are 46% more likely to attempt suicide. Those of us who started advocating for stronger policies for children with reading issues like dyslexia when our children were young now have older children with emotional and mental health issues based on the shame, anxiety, and stress of not learning to read, and I'll say it over and over, probably the most heartbreaking, the loss of joy. The time to act is now, with New York City poised to implement sound evidence-based literacy instruction and support in early grades. It's time to take the next step and provide interventions and support for all students. I'll just jump ahead. Let's take action quickly on behalf of all families. Teach our kids to read.
Thank you for being here and staying till almost the end. We just about hit the 10-hour mark.